Hey everyone, this is Jason. So I'm going to pick up right where I left off. I got the main frame and the table all built, mocked up, and so I'm just going to finish welding that. Then we're going to get into the cabinets. I'm going to get into finishing the tabletop and go from there. So just want to there's real no intro. Like I said, just picking up where I left off from the previous episode. This was the same day. I just kept plugging away. I just didn't want to make these videos too long. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks. Alright, so I got the cabinets and the dolly out of there. I mean, this would be a great workbench as it is. I did try my hand at stick welding, and I got a lot of I got a lot of practice that I got to do. I can't figure out the amperage, and it could be the tabletop being 1/2 inch, and then these legs maybe 1/8 inch, but it just wasn't wanting to beat up very well, and I couldn't get that pool going. I'd go for a little while, then it'd stop, and I don't know if anybody's got any ideas, let me know. I tried a couple different settings. I went all the way down to 90, and that wasn't doing hardly anything, and I went all the way up to 175, so that seemed like too much, but maybe not, I don't know, because that 1/2 inch stuff. So oh well, moving on. I eventually got it. It just took way longer than it should have. I should have just stuck with my MIG welder. Alright, so got the cabinets out. I'm going to try to get all this scale and rust off the bottom just because I want to. Doesn't necessarily need it, but I just want to. So that's what I'm going to do next, and then I'll put the cabinets back in. We'll get them tacked, put the dolly in, and then I got to secure the dolly to these cross members somehow. Probably just use some tabs or whatever. But yeah, that's what's up next. Okay, so the cabinets are all secure, and the last thing to do is secure that dolly. So I've got these old cutoffs of some flat bar. I'm just going to put one there and one there. I think that'll be sufficient. I'm not really too worried about the middle. Not a whole lot of weight there. So yeah, I'm going to weld those on, and then I still got to do the tops of these because I couldn't weld upside down. I just couldn't see very well. So it's plenty strong enough to where I could flip it. I mean, I'm not going to be able to flip it by myself. I'll probably use my tractor for that. Roll it out and try to flip it over. It's just too low in here. So first things first, I'm going to clean up these so I have a nice clean mating surface for the weld to take. And then I'll just start welding it on. So I'll just bring you along. So I put these pieces of wood in here just for as spacers, and welding and stuff. Things shift a little bit. Those came out fine, a little tight, but these are super tight. So I'm just destroying them. That's the only reason those pieces of wood were in there. So now I can put a square on it and kind of square this flat bar here and then weld it. I want the end of this flat bar kind of hidden, and then I put my bead right there, and so I'm just kind of eyeballing it, making sure that it's where it needs to be. Alright, now I'm just going to weld this up, so I'm going to put you on time lapse, but Those are just support and attached to the dolly. I don't think it would go anywhere, but I don't want this to kind of rack in there. So it definitely needs that support. And I'm probably not going to put any gussets down there with that stick weld. I mean, I burned through probably 7 or 8 sticks, so I got some pretty heavy welds down at the bottom. Okay, so I got a little bit of welding left to do, like I was saying earlier. I got to get in here on the top side of the cross members. Couldn't do that upside down, but seems to be working real good. The drawers and everything look really nice. I got to clean up the top, so that's tomorrow's problem though. We're going to go get something to eat. So we'll pick this up again tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Alright, so I was just kind of playing around with that small wire wheel. See if I can get some of the scale off, but I think it's going to take a grinder. So I'll probably switch over to the big grinder. But before I do that, I'm going to weld the remaining joints that I couldn't get to earlier. Also, that wire wheel is just shredding. It's just a cheap Harbor Freight one, but it looks like a porcupine here. Yeah, no bueno. So yeah, let's get those welded up. Alright, I'm switching over to the MIG now. I just used the stick welder because I had a little bigger gap than I really intended to have it. But like I said, I'm not used to working with round stock. It's hard to cut that crescent out. Then I have 2 different dimensions here too. Once in a while, this welder, I've tried to adjust the tension knob several times, but it just spools up under on me, and I'm not really sure why it does that. And then eventually it just breaks, so I lose, you know, a good 6 feet of perfectly fine wire. Tried several different settings and I just haven't found the sweet spot yet. So I gotta re-spool it. It takes time. I'm running a .03 wire, and you're supposed to set it right at the same tension, and I do that. I do like this welder. It's the first welder I've had where it doesn't start welding until you actually pull the trigger. So you can, you know, do this all day long and it won't actually weld until you pull that trigger. I'm sure that's a common feature now. I used to have an old not even a name brand welder that did not have that feature. But you got used to it, but it's nice having it. Alright, that was pretty successful. Had a pretty big hole in there from that last rod. Gonna call that good. It's built up quite a bit. Alright, I'm gonna call that good. The wind's picking up, and I'm just getting picky now. Alright, that completes all the welding. I'm gonna go ahead and round these corners a bit and clean this top. And then we're gonna start stocking the drawers. And she's good to go. So I'll just put you on time lapse for this stuff. Alright, back on the welding table. The table itself is all done. I've got the drawers in. I did end up putting some center supports in there. I had just a slight dip, maybe 32nd to a 16th. So I jacked that up and put those supports in there. And now, barely see any daylight. You might be able to slide a piece of paper under there, but not far. So I'm perfect. I'm 100% happy with the table. I am going to get a flapper disc or a couple of them for the top. I tried some 60 grit. The grinder was just making too many gouges. I tried some 60 grit sandpaper. I didn't have any for metal. Yeah, and it didn't work. So I'll get back to that. But for now, the project on hand today is installing my vise. So I want to be able to take this vise out and have it on the side or on the end. So that's what I'm working on now. For the end here, I'm just going to have a small receiver sleeve. It'll just be mounted underneath. And this is the actual, this is what it'll be mounted to. Well, a portion of this. This is actually going to be majority, the 30 inches going this way. So what I'm doing right now is making a longer sleeve. And this is an old snowplow hardware set for my ATV, which I haven't used for years. Unfortunately, this right here is 2 inches and accepts the receiver quite well. Or the oh yeah, so it'll go. Go in like that, and the vise will be mounted out here somewhere. So yeah, so that's the plan. I got an 8-inch vise, and so I have to have enough. Yeah, I got 12 inches here, so And I want to make this reversible, just in case I'm stuck in the shop and it's just not working out over here. And on my concrete lathe, I can just switch my vise and throw it over here. So that's the plan. I'm trying to figure this out as I go. Right now, what I'm doing on this side is making a kind of mimicking this side because these lips here are too low, and it's going to get bound up on the table. And so when I weld the vise, you know, it's going to rattle a lot. So I plan on putting some more shims in here and doing the same thing. And then that'll hold that down and keep it from rattling so much. Got to hit record earlier. Otherwise, I would have had a lot more footage to share. But really all I did was install the center mounts. Just more grinding and welding. Now this sleeve is what I'm working on. And I've got one side built up. I'm going to put this over here. Then I'll put something over the top. And come think about it, I might not even have to do that. Yeah, so we'll see. Figuring it out as I go, true sick boy fashion. So just bring you along, put you on probably time lapse because a bunch of grinding and welding. Okay, so I got that fabricated up, that channel in there, and now I actually have an option. I got to make the plate for the actual vise, but yeah, now I have the option to either have it on this side or on that side. So I do like that. And then on the far end, I'm going to install this 2-inch receiver sleeve, and then I'll have an option just to have it on the end. Thinking about doing 2 different ones, but I don't think I'm going to need that. So I definitely like how that turned out, especially reusing some hardware for an old snowplow and bucket. Took a little bit of doing. I had to cut. They had these wings coming down, or flanges. I had to cut them off and do a little, you know, grinding here and there, but now it's sliding pretty good. It's a little tight because I just got done welding it. I think it'll loosen up a little bit, but this got a lot of paint on it too. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it a day from now. I might come down after dinner. I'm pretty excited about making that. Probably going to take that 1/2-inch plate, and I was thinking about getting another one of these, welding that on there, or welding it on here, and then that would be easy on and off. Just take it off. For whatever reason I can't use that side, come over here and put it on. I'd have to drill some holes, but that's a piece of cake. So that's where we're at. I'm going to get one more of these for sure, now that I think about it. So I can weld it over there. And then, well, I'm going to think about it for a little bit. Because I like to, that big vase there, or a big vise there is heavy. And then I have my other swivel vise. So, to be continued. Still kind of working out what would be the best approach. Give me the most flexibility. So we'll come back to that either after dinner tonight or let's see, what's today? I actually took tomorrow off. That's right. So may just come back tomorrow. Tomorrow, or today's Sunday, March 16th. I took tomorrow off. So I got all day to kind of wrap this up. So yeah, I'll kind of think about it for a little bit in my head and see what I'm going to do. But that's an update where we're at. Other than that, I really haven't done nothing else. That took me a little while to fabricate. I had to make some risers, some spacers in there, shims, whatever you want to call them, because just the way that hardware was, they use as little as possible as far as metal goes. Yeah, I think that'll be pretty nice. Now I'm just debating whether I have to cut this off. I need at least 8 inches out here. And then I'm going to just keep that. Now, I can always store my vise down there when I want to just have a workbench. So, okay, I'll bring it back when we pick this back up. Thanks.